Welcome to the Vigor Life Podcast, a source of inspiration, lessons, stories, skill sets, mindsets, and strategies to invigorate and expand all areas of your life. Let's go. All right, what's going on? Luca here with the Vigor Life Podcast. And today, you notice that I don't have all these explanations of what it is. We just go into it. Pretty much that's how it rolls over here. But today we got John Wolfe in the building, and he's visiting to do an Onnit course in Seattle. So I was like, well, we got to get him on the show. It's really hard for me to even say to give you a title. So I'm going to have you explain all the things that you do, because there's no one title for what you do, buddy. We both know this. So just give me a short synopsis of kind of I meet you in the street. What does John Wolfe do?
Man, you know what? My official title on it is Chief Fitness Officer.
I like that, Chief.
It sounds CFO. It kind of sounds official, but it's like you're Chief Finance Officer? Nah, dog.
Nuh-uh.
Chief Fitness Officer.
That's low level.
Yeah. I do what I do. So the thing about it is Onnit is a highly dynamic environment. So nobody does one job. It's not just me. It's like Luca. What's your job?
My job is to be Luca.
I got 10 job man. It's crazy, and Onnit's like that too. It's just it's a place where everybody there has an entrepreneurial spirit. Everybody there is owning their shit. Everybody there is pushing the envelope and moving the ball forward. And to do that, you just whatever comes across your desk, whatever comes across your way, you do it.
You kind of do what you need to do.
That's it, man.
But just for if you don't know John, all right, you really need to look him up. But, what he's exceptionally great at is coaching and teaching the concepts that, the Onnit certifications do, which is everything from, you got to look it up, like durability and foundations, kettlebells, unconventional training. But like I said, I don't want to just piece it into this one little box. But beyond that, he's just been a driving force at Onnit, and a great friend, and has helped a lot with the training here. We had the whole team go through the cert. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of pull it out there, what exactly it is, so that there's some concepts drawn here.
Education is definitely the thing. Yeah. So to be honest, I got hired with Onnit to develop a certification course that incorporated the total human optimization mission, but also incorporated all the unconventional tools that Onnit sells. So, and proliferates content through, so like you said, kettlebells, sandbags, suspension training, battle ropes, maces, clubs, even barbells. So what we did is we try to create this all-inclusive system that allows for you to plug and play whatever it is you already do into the mix. So it doesn't invalidate other people's concepts or content. We really just basically believe that good information can't displace good information, man. It has to be willingly accept modular improvement in any way, shape, or form. And so developing an educational framework that allows for that was my highest priority. But then I was doing that remote from Cali, where I was running my own gym and grinding on that hustle. But then they said, hey, you know what do we got to do to get you out here to Austin and run our freaking HQ gym, this beacon that we want to create called the Onnit Academy headquarters, and I was like, man, well, you don't got to do too much. I want to go over there and do that.
Let me play hard to get for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to Austin. Ran the gym out there and worked with under another person in my current position. As he left, I had to step up into new roles. So product development, creating new platforms for proliferation of content. So we have our Onnit Academy on-demand platform. So that's really something that we've been working on the last quarter here, where we're really developing our in-house trainers to be content producers. People, and that's something you always.
Yeah, I love that, man. Actually, I wanted to bring that up. A couple points that you said. One, what I love about just you in general, but with Onnit is that there's not this competitive, you're wrong, we're right. But it's okay, look, what's going to make us better? And you've given kind of the platform to, even with the certifications, to the guys that are really in the trenches doing the work. And I love that, right? Because you have different coaches now running everything. A lot of the certs that are doing this day in and day out, and also giving the platform on the membership site, right? Because that's exactly what we're talking about. And I think there's a huge kind of let's just call it empowerment, right? Empowerment when you're like, hey, look, take over, do your thing. It makes people want to push harder. Kind of when you got into that position, right? You're like, man, I believe in what we're doing, so I want to do the best that I can. And
yeah, man. I think that's so important. when I went to Onnit, there was no precedent. Like, oh, this is what you have to do. You know, it's like, well, we bring you out here, and it's kind of like people going out west to mine for gold. You know, like you got to start digging and have faith. You know, and thankfully, you know, a lot of the things that I was hired to do, I had been developing myself for a decade to deliver it. I had developed the foresight, insight, you know, that vision to say, like, this is what I wish I could create if I had the resources, because the thing about it is you can have a lot of the skills and a lot of the talent, but if you don't have that magnetism and like a brand like Onnit can bring, you know,
100%, because it's like, right, even right now, as I think about, okay, what we're doing with Vigor and where we're going, I mean, the resources necessary are crazy, you know, and I got to a point where even now I'm like, man, we're understaffed, I need more help, right? And it's tough, and like with Onnit, right? I mean, the opportunity to go like, wow, this dream can be built. Mm-hmm. I can be a part of it with my skill sets and continue to get better to help them. And I would say, like, here's the thing: when you left, right, to go there, was one of the main things that, like, you believed in the vision so much, you know what I mean? Like, because I always explain this stuff, and like sometimes you might get paid, you know, more doing X, Y, Z, but we just talked about instant gratification versus long-term gratification, and it's like that you have this long-term gratification for what it can be, and so that's why you chose to be a part of it.
Without a doubt, man. You know, the thing about it is I saw it as a huge opportunity for me to get into a position where, like you said, I was scrounging. I had limited resources, and I had a vision, and I was like, well, this is a 20-year vision at the pace I'm at, you know? And you know, I recognized where my limitations were, not only financially, just with my own skill sets. And I needed to have a team around me that could complement what I could do. And I felt not only that was available at Onnit, but the mission of Onnit was directly aligned with my personal mission. I mean, that was not like, oh, I have to sell out and go work for Onnit. And I was like, no,
that's
these
perfect,
people
man.
Fucking believe exactly what I believe.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
And just so you know, right, this is a triple X rated pod. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I'm with you. I can drop F-bombs all day long.
But I really like what you said there, man, because this podcast, I wanted to, it's everything is related to fitness, but also life and like getting the most out of everything that we're doing. You know, and it's all, this is always seems to be the main theme, becomes like, look, man, I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the big vision. And it's like, this is my why, so you work harder. Because I don't care what you're doing. Like, somebody could come in and go, hey, like, here's these mountains of gold, but you got to go do this. And it doesn't excite me, and I don't see the big picture and like the purpose behind it. I'm not doing it. Now, maybe in my younger years, you know, maybe I would have got pulled off a little bit. But like, when you find the reason, you know, and I love this saying, like, by Gary Vaynerchuk. He said, you know, it's more important how you make your money than how much money you make, right? And I think that when you make your money the right way and you love what you do, I think that the possibilities actually are exponential, and you know, so that's why we've been talking now for years, and it's been incredible to see where Onnit has gone, but and what you've been doing with it and where you've been going with it. So, you know, that's been awesome, man. Because I've also been through, you know, you said when you took on like the 30 roles and we were talking, you're like, dude, man, I'm just doing like a million things a day. Yeah. And to hear now it's calmed down, and obviously that, you know, you've given responsibilities to other people to take with this, but it's awesome, man.
It's great, man. You know, the thing about it was, you've been part of other organizations, and, you know, the biggest thing was I didn't want to fall prey to the same mistakes I had witnessed or even felt I was, you know, in a position where I was hurt through some of those situations, right? Personally and professionally as well. And that's fine. I can't judge anybody because I'm not living their world. You know, I'm not living their life. I'm not walking in their footsteps. So things are different. But one of the things that I thought would be a beautiful thing to create, and Onnit facilitated that too, is create an organization where one day at lunch, Shane Hines, who's now our director of education, awesome human being, probably my favorite people in this whole world, right? And one of my best friends, and I were sitting down, and we had gone through some organizations together, building ourselves up as on the education team, redesigning the curricula that were being taught internationally, and then leaving that organization and ultimately feeling like, well, what was it that wasn't right? Why is it that we no longer resonated with it? Yeah. Why was it no longer something that fulfilled us? And ultimately, we just realized that like a lot of the closed natures of some of these communities, it elicits a huge feeling of connection early on, that cult-like mentality, right? Mm-hmm. They have their own language, their own lingo. It's very cliquey. And that's cool when it's cool. But at a certain point in time, most of us outgrow the confines of any particular framework if it doesn't allow for individual expression and the opportunity to contribute in with your gifts, yes. Right? And so what we needed to figure out was, well, what does that look like? And it was like the end of summer, and in Cali, summertime, you have like lake time, lake weekends, and I went out with some friends on a boat, and I was like, man, this is so great because every weekend there's all these people show up with their boats, right? And then they go somewhere, right? They go to the Delta, or they go off and they dock off, and then they all tie their boats together. And as soon as they're tied together, it's not like, hey, you know what? That food looks good. Can I have some? They're like, no, man, don't even ask. Just hop over here and grab some. Or I'm out of beer, or out of Jack, or whatever it is that I'm drinking over here. And people are just throwing a bottle of booze or a beer across their boat to the other boat to share. Because once you're there, everything is everybody's. It's communal, right? And then when people leave, and this is the part that really blew my mind, was because I was going through this process at the time. Yeah. And so just to witness it, when people left, it wasn't like, why are you leaving? You can't leave us. You get what I'm saying? Yep. That mentality that people have.
Now you're out.
Now you're out.
Basta.
Yeah. You're either with us or you're against us, right? People are like, no, all right, hey, you got to go. Yeah, I got to go a little early because I got a family commitment or whatever, work or whatever. All right, we'll see you next weekend. Oh, man, I won't be here next week. I can't come back tonight. All right, we'll see you next summer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because they know, everybody acknowledges that when you get back here and we all at the same place at the same time, it's going to have the same vibe. And to me, like, every friendship that I can maintain needs to have that type of energy. Like, I don't see Luca for a couple of years. It ain't gonna be like, dog, how come you don't call me? It'd be like,
we just pick it right back up.
Yeah, exactly. Give me some love, man. Big hug. And so realistically, as non-related as that story is, that's the type of vibe we want in our community. And then the boats are representative of whatever knowledge people bring and, their gifts and sharing those gifts. So, like you've always brought in prolific educators and people to share their gifts with your staff and share your house here as a place for other people to come become better versions of themselves through that education and to get exposed. That's we're on the same mission. You know what I mean?
No, man, that's a great analogy because you're right with that, man. Like, you can, as soon as you start having that, even when you get to a point where like we got all this, right, and now we got to keep people out or don't go there and share that, like that. That's when it's game over. Like where everything starts collapsing, right? When the philosophy behind it is, man, I want people to go and and bring it back, and we all get better, right? It isn't, and I know at a certain point in time, you do the whole like. I know all this stuff, whatever. Yeah. But that's game over, man. And that's what I see with you guys there is just like all the boundaries are open. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. But what do you think that is a big? So what do you think is the driving force behind that? Is it just that the foundation has been set that way, so the people that are coming on board are just in line with that. So the values, like it's attracting the right people and the right values, or is a big part like Aubrey's mentality, or what what do you think is the driving force behind all that?
Well, I think all the above, because that was always my goal. But going and hanging with Aubrey and realizing, like, man, you know what? He if he didn't believe in that, it wouldn't matter how much I brought to the table, because there would be an overriding, cultural difference between what he set us as a precedent for the whole culture of Onnit and the things that I was doing at the Onnit Academy. And so thankfully, going in there, it was great because I got in there and I basically had an interview by training Aubrey, a couple of our MMA fighters, and my former predecessor, the former chief fitness officer. And I had to run them through some stuff and, basically demonstrate my skill set, right? And so
that was your interview?
That was my interview, man.
I like that interview, man.
And then to sit down and BS with Aubrey about just life and perspective, and it was great because, to be honest, it was such an unconventional way of going in and filling out who I was and what I bring to the table, that I was like, man, this is great, because this is the way I would want to judge somebody. It's not like what a piece of paper says. Make me feel who you are through interaction and honesty, vulnerability. Like, can you be real? Everything's on the line. Can you still be you? And that was the thing when I got in there. And that's what we find now that we've set that culture is, show up, be different, bring to the table what you have, as long as it's not disruptive to the greater good, then it's going to be welcome, and I think that's the key for what you said is any gift that I have has been that I've been able to attract like some amazing human beings into my life, and then be able to maintain those relationships in a way where I'm with Onnit. And now it's like all these people that were here for me, they were ride or die. I'm like, they're still there for me. Maybe there was not something big they could do for me, but they always provide me meaningful love and support. And I value what they bring to the table in terms of education or experience. Like you said, these are grinders. These are not like, necessarily the people you find in the magazines. These are the people on the ground implementing the stuff every day, and I'm like, well, those are the people I started to learn to celebrate and position within our infrastructure. Is like, hey, because the energy was right, their experience is right, they fit into the culture. So what do you say? The 3 C's was always like character, or like unquestionable people of character, culture, fit into the culture, and competence. So like, man, there's a lot of competent people, but there's not always somebody who matches all 3 of those things. And now, as I've worked with lots of people, it's always about circumstances too. It has to be right for everybody involved. Mm-hmm. You can have the absolute most perfect person to fit into your team, but if it's not the right time for them,
I like that, man.
Yeah, so
character, competence, and culture.
Yeah,
and circumstance. 4 C's now.
No, 4 C's now.
Take that down. Down. But you know what? It's like I was just reading this great book. It's called Better, Faster, Smarter. Right? It's from the same guy that wrote The Power Habit, and it's talking about like which teams are successful, and like one of these huge factors was that in a team setting that people aren't afraid to put out their best ideas, even if they sound crazy or their craziest stuff, to a point where even if it gets criticized, right, everybody feels kind of like at ease sharing with each other. Mm-hmm. And that's where they saw, like, even if the IQ was higher in one group or whatever else, they were more competent to a certain degree. That teams excelled most if, like, we can sit down and I go like, hey, listen, man, I think we should do this, this, and that. And you're like, I think we should do this. And we're just kind of throwing stuff in there, and everybody's suggestions get acknowledged. Everybody gets heard, right? And then you kind of understand that there's a purpose that we all have that's the same, right? Yeah. And we work towards it. And I think that's a big part of, well, success, not only Onnit, but like all of these organizations that you see that are constantly evolving, and there is no right way, right? I mean, you guys have took a lot of curves. I mean, shit, like we take curves every week, I think. I'm like, oh, guys, we're going to change some stuff up. You know that shit I said last week? It's out the window. Hey. But you got to be able to, like, I think, adapt. And, I think that the people are essentially the most important factor, right? And so, man, it's. I had a question there that was hiding behind there, but I forgot it. And I'm sure I'll loop back to it, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
But where do you, like, as of right now? Because I love hearing like where things are going. Like I'm always like, here's what the future of fitness is, and I think here's what's happening and developing. But like, where is Onnit going with a lot of the ideas and things like that?
Well, when I got to Onnit, that first piece of the education system, the foundation, what's now the foundations course, which integrates all of our restorative and longevity systems along with the use of these unconventional tools, right, in a framework where people can just plug and play.
Yep.
That was like, if you get the manual, you go through a systematic approach of plugging in mobility, movement prep work that ties into the work sets that you've designed.
Well, that's what I love about the course, man. It's like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're doing it. Yeah. Like it's happening. It's helping. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I love that, man.
So, I've been really happy to hear that the systemization of that is really simple. So it's very like learn by doing and then apply in a formulaic way until you own it. And then we have all these specialized courses, which are like, man, you know what? I really like when I use the mace. So I'm going to go down that path. It's a choose your own adventure kind of education system, right? So we're not saying like you have to do all 10 courses because we don't care. Like what we want to see is people do the foundational courses. So that's the foundations and the durability, because we're rebranding ourselves as a longevity and performance system. So the longevity comes from our durability course. It's all soft tissue, joint health, and it's been really great because of the level of accessibility of the way that we approach that. It's like everybody can participate. It's very low risk, high reward, right? So those are the two courses that make up the yin and the yang of the system, the using the tools in a holistic systematic approach, and then going deeper in the recovery methodologies so that you have that. Now, like you said, we built out this team of all these grinders, these people that are on the ground floor, delivering stuff all the time and have specialized in something very unique. So you have Shane Hines, who's our director of education, but also has been teaching club swinging and steel club exercise for years. He had a whole business online that just was about clubs. Yeah. And then you have Eric Milan, our in-house steel mace master, which is just freaking killing it, bro.
Let's just say that nobody does shit with the mace that Eric does.
Nah, dude.
He's a G. Body weight stuff, mace, man. The best. Like if you honestly, guys got to follow. Just go on. Obviously follow Onnit Academy on Instagram, on Facebook and stuff. But also follow Eric. What's his name? Is no, I'm saying his on Instagram. I'll put
ESIC 831. Yeah,
I said the ESIC 831. But follow the stuff because it's like it's dope. And every time I go down there, he like puts me through the ringer. I'm sore for like 7 days. But
he's just like that evil guy. He's like, let me show you what I'm working on right now.
From love. Oh, you gotta see this.
Yeah. Well, hey, he's still talking about you. I think you still got the record for just going in there hungover and smashing that Warrior Mace Challenge.
So this is a little. I think it was the Viking Mace Challenge. That's
right.
That.
Viking Mace
Me
Challenge.
and Jay Ferrugia were down. This was the weekend of the grand opening. I think. Right.
I think so. Yeah.
And so like
we went hard.
We went hard.
Yeah.
Like we went. So for 2 days, I know we were like. Let's just say we were consuming things I usually don't, right? Whatever. And it was a Monday because it was like, I think it was a Monday, and we came in, and Eric was like, "Yo, I got this challenge," and I was so, like when you're tired, so you don't want to think about training, so you just want to be put through something. So it's like, all right, so you're just gonna do this 20 minutes on a minute every minute. And so we did this challenge, was like basically 20 reps per minute. It's like these rotational squats and lunges with uppercut. And it's 400 reps in 20 minutes. And then everybody started egging me on. And so I got pumped up. If anybody knows me, I like to take a challenge and, and go all in. And I think I beat the record, whatever it was. I legitimately was crushed for like 3 or 4 days afterwards.
Bro.
Man, I felt muscles. I was done. But that was fun. And that's usually kind of like what happens when I go down there. I get put through the ringer for something.
Every time, man. We got to have something stored up for you.
It's always fun. You know what? Like, I think that's one of the things that kind of also determines, I know we kind of went off track a little bit, but when I think about going down there, I always get excited. Awesome. It's like, oh man, I'm going to go down there. But it's the people, the environment, like there's going to be something new that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the big markers, like, or lagging indicators where you go like, man, this is a good spot to go to, right?
Well, if we get back to delivering services that are of high value, it's experiential as well as 100%. Anything else. Like, so, that's one of the things that when we, on the early on in the education system, we teach people how to deliver an experiential model of fitness, like things that people can go and do once and still get like, there was something different there. Mm-hmm. There's something different there. There was a thought process there that I'm not used to being exposed to, and I feel really good. But then, then moving forward, what keeps people going long term is seeing benchmarkers for success. So benchmarks of growth and success. So we're developing a leaderboard system that is based on your own body weight. So it's not like this crazy thing where if you just have unfair advantage or if you're trained so high that people can't keep up with you, that you're always on the top. It's like, well, it's really not just about being on the top. It's just really about seeing personal growth. So when we start seeing that most improved type of benchmarks as well, not just who's the best at something, right?
Now, where's that? Is that system going to be within the membership site also?
That's going to be ideally a mobile app that consumers will be able to access, and so they'll start to be able to track on their own. Having different leaderboards in gym. Obviously, we have a goal to start having an affiliate gym model very similar to other gym models you see to proliferate the content, but it's just tightening up the system. So we talk about like what's in the future. So it's like, well, you have this team, like we were talking about these specialized teachers, Battle Ropes, Aaron Guyette. We have Sarah Jameson with Durability should be coming down from Vancouver to visit this weekend as we deliver the course down the road. And we have this prolific team. But at the same time, Marcus Martinez, kettlebell. Sorry,
I was about to say Marcus joined the team like not long ago. Right?
Yeah, Marcus is joining the team.
He does great stuff, man.
Dude, he's a beast. He
can do some pretty gnarly shit.
Yeah, so now we got all this team gelling together. People can go on this choose your own adventure kind of process because there's enough content there, so you don't feel like you're just pigeonholed into what we want to force feed you. Then the goal is to have people kind of own a little bit more their role within the organization. So be a leader, right? So now that we have these channels where people can self-select what they're passionate about, because you're going to always be the most impactful person when you're teaching what you're passionate about. Just kind of like what you're talking about. You go somewhere, you feel the energy it's contributed and you can give it back and participate, plug in, And so when people choose that path, they can specialize in that to a higher degree and test out proficiency and be able to be a coach. So there's a local resource where they can start teaching pre-formatted workshops and also own a channel on the on-demand platform. So the big thing for us is the other mistake that I feel some organizations have made in the past, and from the outside looking in, or from my own judgment of where we are in the organization right now, we haven't really done any better. But the framework is being built out so that people, when they're plugged in, it always seemed like it was like everything fed up to the top. There's always a lot of organizations where like that person at the top is doing really, really well, but a lot of the people who come in and show up every year and bleed for what's happening, they don't necessarily have a lot of opportunity financially. They can get some PR and get some positioning by helping teach a lot of times, which is always valuable. And that's what I did to separate myself from a lot of people in the education scene, was just go and help teach, right, for free. But I was always thinking like, well, one of the things that would have made it easier was if I was making money in that process. So, if there was turnkey opportunities and unique positioning, if there was this online proliferation model that I didn't have to, those people don't have to build for themselves because they don't necessarily have the technical know-how. They're on this platform that has the Onnit name and brand and look and feel, and they've earned their place there.
And the thing is, this is so on point, man. Like, and now we're speaking from a business perspective, and I think this is a good conversation for, if I look at Vigor Ground, I've started getting that going. Like, man, like I want to build this platform and have my guys become, stars within their own right, and choosing what they want to do that inspires them and fires them up, like exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And I think that actually makes everybody better, right? Because there's motivation behind, oh, wow, like there's a never ending path. Because what's the problem a lot of times right now? I mean, still, let's look at the majority of fitness, right? It's like, okay, I do this stuff and then what else is there? Where else can I go? And you have to be able to show people like, no, look, this is where we're going. And it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I want to go there, right? And the thing is, the platform, just like the Onnit platform, like it elevates everyone, right? And it's same thing that I want. And I think on a smaller level, like to have your own fitness business in any realm, I think that's the smartest way to go about it, and it's worth the effort. And like the people that you have on your team that can like see that North Star, like we're looking at the same thing, but it's like, yeah, you have like endless opportunities to go with us. And then you can create your own unique opportunities too, right? Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we all got to realize, look, the power of choice, right? It's like in so many different ways, like nobody's stopping you from being able to do whatever. Yeah. Right. It's like, who's holding you back? And like, I wanted to make, and I know you guys do too. Like if somebody's like has the competency and the culture and they're working their ass off, right? That you're like, okay, here's more opportunity. Yeah. Do more work, more opportunity, do more. You know what I mean? Like so that they get rewarded for it. Because I think that the frustration kicks in if somebody's really motivated, really fired up, they're doing the work, and there's like this glass ceiling. Yeah. It's like, I can't go anywhere, right? And you're like, okay, I quit, I go somewhere else, I do something else. And it's a shame, right? Because there's so much more out there.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things. The first time I started talking to you about everything that you guys do at Vigor Ground, and I started seeing these ads pop up for the pack, right? What is like? I'm the wolf, and they got the pack. What's going on with this? I'm gonna have to cash over these guys. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, now
I pay John like 4% on that.
Fast forward, you know what I mean? Now I'm part of the pack too. You know, like, it's great. But at the same time, you know, I was like, you know, I think it's such a funny situation that the fitness industry, I remember, you know, was it like 8 years ago? Everybody thought it was like the Wild West, and everybody can just open up a shop and it was like easy money, you know, because they do kind of simple math. The simple math is like
the simple math.
The simple math doesn't take into account any of the expenses associated with the potential for income, right? So it's like really simple. You have $100,000 a year business, but your expenses are $85,000 a year. So
you're working your ass off making $15K. It's like,
you're like, ouch, you know. But there's been a huge awakening in this industry, not only as to the necessary components that you need to have in your game, in your pocket, the skills and the resources, the grit that it takes to be successful in this business, but also that it really is still kind of the Wild West if you have that mindset that you can create turnkey systems, turnkey like offerings, businesses within your business. Like, you know, like at the Onnit Academy, we literally have like 6 different business units operating in a gym. And that's what you guys have. You know, you have like online coaching, you know, the mastermind group, and you got this ascension model where, you know, there's always somewhere for not only your trainers or your staff to step up into a new role, but your community members. You know, everybody wants to level up all the time, right? And so, you know, I think, man, you know, it took a long time for me to realize that was always something I was trying to do, but I didn't always have the clout to get it done, you know. So, you know, plugging in to guys like you, you know, it definitely helped me out a lot too. Is like, okay, I knew there was something I'm trying to work towards, but then sometimes just having it laid out and by people that you respect and say like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do too. That validation of the process. And so I think early in the game, a lot of people are just trying to have one offering, and that's a good idea. Focus on one thing
and be great at it. So that you know that it works.
Exactly.
But it's like once you know that it works, there's always, like, for instance, right? I get some stuff from Onnit, and all of a sudden, this is great stuff. I want to get more stuff, right? Yeah. And I think we all want that. We connect to things, and it's like, how can you deliver more value? I mean, that's really, at the end of the day, is the question, right?
Yeah.
How can I deliver more value? How can I give people more of, you know, something that they want, and the solution that's going to help them, you know, get rid of the frustration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Gina's like, I keep it really real. Gina's giving me the
wrap it up.
The Dave Chappelle wrap it up button right there. You know, but I wanted to make sure that we, you know, we get you in and we get to talk, and like we're coming to the barbecue tomorrow, right?
Yeah, what time is that? We got to do
it's
this.
at 6 p.m. Right? I made sure it's after you're, you know.
All right.
After you're done, we got food, we got drinks. It's all good. So we're gonna go be at Alki. You know, it's like May, and it's like there's 82 degrees in Seattle. You gotta celebrate that in itself. But thank you for coming by, man. I really appreciate you, man. And before we leave, where are some things? Because there's a lot of different places they can find out more about Onnit, especially like the online membership site, which is awesome. Just let them know, you know, where you can find out more about you, sites, Instagram and social media, whatever it is.
Definitely. You know, the easiest thing to do is just make sure you get on our blog, the onnit.com/academy. This is like the educational platform for all of Onnit's total human optimization models, strategies, methods. I mean, we just put out like a 7,000 word beginner's guide to intermittent fasting.
I just saw that. Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm like, dang, that's intense. But we're always trying to, just like Lucas said, build more value for people who come and plug in, turnkey educational opportunities from that blog. Whatever you're interested in, fitness, food, lifestyle, mindset. There's always a ton of content there. Me personally, best way to connect is on Facebook, John Wolfe, or it's on a coach page, because my personal content page is just pictures of my daughter and my wife with me. So if you want anything business related, get on the professional page, because otherwise you're just going to get inundated with really cute baby pics.
Exactly, which is always good.
Yeah,
always good.
Instagram, Coach John Wolfe, and of course Onnit Academy. Make sure to check out that Instagram. There's always popping on there. If you're in Austin, Texas, please come by Onnit Academy.
Come by. Seriously, it's a great experience. Don't miss it. And when the new Vigor opens, just so you know, the only official thing that we'll be selling for supplements is Onnit. I'm just making it clear, right? But seriously, so I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, much love.
And we got to be out of here. Catch you on the next episode of Vigor Ground Podcast. I probably missed a bunch of stuff I'm supposed to say and reviews and all that, but whatever. Peace out.
Peace.